Yo, we are back finally.
Yo. Bamm and The Commish, the hot corner, is live right now. Live right now. We're back.
Bamm's a little excited today.
Always excited to get together and give the people a little bit of a review of what's going on in our lives, a little bit of insight to the things that we do, to what makes us click. I don't know if you guys can see the view of me and Manny out there. But when I tell you it's a beautiful evening in South Florida right now, it's super breezy out there right now. Super breezy, but we are on the same block as the American Airlines arena there.
No, it's
What's it
called
called
the FTX, right? FTX Arena.
That's true.
It's all about crypto now.
For sure. So
hey, before we forget, happy Easter to everybody out there, everybody who celebrates Easter. Happy
Absolutely.
Easter, everybody out there. And last week, we were not able to host our podcast because we were at Marlins Park. Well, actually, they changed their name too, right?
I don't know what it is, but I know we went to watch the Marlins. I know we squeaked out a victory.
It was Lone Depot Park, I think.
Yeah, Lone Depot.
We went to Marlins Park, the Marlins opener, and that's why we were not here last week. But we're bringing you the Hot Corner Show this week.
Thank God we got a chance to celebrate at least one win with our Florida Marlins, because they have not been successful since, man. I think they lost a 1-0 game or something today as well. The struggle is real. The struggle is really, really real. I love the Marlins, but I don't. Manny, you think we're gonna get 80 wins?
80? Get out of here, bro.
60?
I don't even think we'll get 41. Maybe I don't know.
Damn.
Maybe we'll talk to our good friend Mario Fernandez from the Association of Professional Cuban Baseball Players, see what he thinks about the Marlins.
Bring him in. Let's see it, Manny.
Well, first, before we bring him in, I want to go over the upcoming events really quick, just so that we can get through this. Let's talk about this. Puerto Vallarta, it's coming up. Have you ever been to Puerto Vallarta?
Actually, I have.
You have?
Actually, I have when I was a kid, man.
Wow.
When I was a kid and when I was in the military.
Wow.
Yeah, there's a naval base there in Puerto Rico and
that's not Puerto Rico. That's
Puerto Vallarta is Mexico, but there's a naval base in Puerto Rico, and we had an opportunity to go to Puerto Vallarta for an R&R from the Navy base, and it was absolutely beautiful.
Nice.
It was beautiful. I got a chance to do some fishing there in the waters, and
seafood.
Absolutely delicious.
Nice. The 40 and over, they're having their national tournament in Honduras. That is the weekend of April 30th.
That's awesome. The 40 and over, that's awesome.
40 and over, their national tournament in La Ceiba. And then this is one of my favorite tournaments, the Puerto Rico Open. I love that tournament.
I'm seriously considering taking a team over there and going to compete and going to have a good time.
Brother, you better ponte la pila, because there's not going to be that many spaces available. We only
Listen, even if I go and I do all the eating and partying on Friday night, I'm all right with that, bro, because I know that party is out of control on Friday nights.
That same weekend, we have the Texas State Championships in Bryan, Texas. That's May 21st and 22nd at Bryan Regional Athletic Complex. Then, this is a tournament I'm really excited about, Bamm, in Bogota, El Dorado Open. That's June 23 to the 26th. Then we'll be in Monterrey in August. Then the Mariachi Open.
So my birthday.
That's your birthday weekend?
September 16th, yes, sir. You taking me?
Let's go. Guadalajara. That's where the mariachis originated from. So if you want to learn a little bit about culture, there you go, Guadalajara. Then this one, man. This is the guy that we had last time, Efren Fieros. We had him on the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna have close to 70 teams, man. Easy at this.
This is the party.
Yes.
This was the party. Oh yeah, I remember that. This was the party. This was the get down.
This was the party that they had the what did they do? They had like a party boat for the women.
Yes. Yeah, he and I spoke in detail. We spoke in depth about it.
It was
This is the one that finishes early to give everyone a chance to party.
Yes.
Through the weekend.
And then we're going to the beach in Riccione, Italy for the Euro Open. That's October 7th through the 9th. Wow. And then we finish with our World Championships in November. So without further ado, let's bring in Mario Fernandez from the Asociación of Cuban Professional Baseball Players. Mario, ¿cómo está?
Hello. How are you guys?
Hey, how you doing?
How are you?
I'm with Marlins too, you know?
Hey, mira, we have
Hey,
look.
Yo, we're twins today, man.
Look at this.
Mira, Bamm, I wanted to bring Mario on. I've known Mario now for quite some time. He has a statistic application on the Google Store, and we're going to be using it pretty soon for some of our tournaments to do statistics and keeping scores live for our tournaments and for our leagues. But that's aside. There's something more important that I wanted to talk to and bring it on our podcast about the situation going on with the professional Cuban baseball players here in the United States. Mario, if you can you please elaborate a little bit more about what's going on and what is your mission?
Oh, yes, Manuel. We founded an organization, an association of Cuban professional baseball players in order to, we have some initiative, many, but the most important one is to try to participate with an independent team in the next World Baseball Classic, a Cuban team with players of MLB players mainly, but only, professional players. And then we are trying to do that because, as you probably know, everybody, when the World Baseball Classic happens, all professional players from different countries leave the spring training. Normally it is in March. It's going to be in 2023. They leave the spring training. Venezuelans, Dominican Republic players, Puerto Ricans, Americans, Canadians, from everywhere, and they leave the spring training and they go with their teams and they compete at the highest level possible with their national teams, except from Cubans, because the Cuban Federation, they don't allow Cuban professional players to represent Cubans, us. So it has been happening for a while, from the beginning of the World Baseball Classic in 2006, and I believe this is the fifth edition is going to happen now in 2023, and they try, El Duque, Oropesa, all those guys, Prieto, all those guys that were playing in the past at the highest level in MLB, and they couldn't, and they didn't receive a good answer from MLB, from the authorities related with this, especially the World Baseball and Softball Confederation, because they don't like us, my friend. I would like to say something different, but they don't like Cubans that live for liberty, for freedom, that leave the country and try to be free. They don't like us. They have very tight. The WBSC, they are really related. They have tight relations with Cuban government, not with Cuban baseball, with Cuban government, because the Cuban Federation is a governmental entity. It is not an independent entity. So they mix politics with everything. Probably some people say that we also mix politics, but we don't. But what we are trying is to something unfair that is happening to solve it. I mean, so we are talking with MLB, we are talking with the Players Association to solve this problem, but we don't want any relationship with the Cuban Federation. We just want to have in first base Pito Abreu, in third base Contreras and Moncada, and the pitchers Chapman, Raizel Iglesias, all those guys, you know, and maybe also some Americans too, you know, Arenado, Hosmer, Alec Manoa, all those guys. And we believe that we would have a dream team, not only for Cubans, I mean, a very competitive team, probably one of the best teams in history, if we put together all those guys. And we want to do that. And if we don't achieve that very challenge goal that we have, at least we want to play some exhibition games in the Marlins Park. And probably for the first time in history, we will fool the Marlins Park, and we will demonstrate MLB and everybody that loves baseball like us that it's possible to fool the Marlins Park, you know. But you have to have Cubans. But you have to have Cubans playing in Marlins, you know. And we want to do that. And for our people, I want to stop here, but because you probably have a lot of questions, but you know, our people in Cuba, those who doesn't know how Cuban people live in a day-to-day basis. I mean, they don't have hope. I mean, they don't have food. They don't have internet access, free. They don't have many things that we have. They don't have freedom. What they have, just a hope that they can see that team playing and representing Cubans and winning, probably, or at least playing, you know, competing, because the Cuban team is not competing anymore. I mean, the official Cuban team, unfortunately, is not competing anymore because they take political decisions. They don't take sports decisions. I mean, they don't bring the best players because they are afraid those players leave the team, you know. So we want to put that team. It's a tough project. It's very difficult, not only because of that situation of WBSC, but also because, you know, those guys are hurt. You know, I know most of them, you know, ex-players, players that active players in MLB, and those guys are really hurt by the situation, and it's very difficult to put them together and to understand that this is a collective project, that you have to put aside your experience, your bad experience with Cuba and with Cuban Federation and with everything, and you have to think that this is possible and let's do it. You know, it's the hardest project I have. I mean, I'm a business guy. I'm used to organize the people in different countries. I've been living in Chile for 21 years. I had offices in 10 countries in Latin America, which is very difficult. But this is the toughest project I have developed in my life. You know, it's very, very hard to. Yeah.
I believe you. We're talking to Mario Fernandez. He's the president of the Association of Professional Cuban Baseball Players. And Bamm, this reminds me a few years ago when Russia got banned from the Olympics.
Right.
And some of their athletes formed or they competed under an independent flag.
Right.
This reminds me of that same situation. And it's sad because you strive your whole life to be better, to be the best in your country. You come to the United States where it has the best of the best league in your sport. And just because you make that decision, now your own country does not recognize you. You are no longer, let's say that happened in America. You're no longer an American.
Right.
Because you went to Cuba to go play in their professional league.
Right.
Now, imagine if Shotani or
Ichiro, right?
Ichiro, or any Venezuelan or any Miguel Cabrera, anybody and they're playing in the major leagues, and now they can't go back home and play for their flag.
No, it's sad, my friend. And one important thing is that every year Cubans, they are so good in this game that every year that we have an MVP, a champion, and a hitting champion, and a rookie of the year. Every year, and it will get better or worse depending on how you see, because there are 170 players right now between MLB. We have, I believe, 21 in the roster, in the 40 roster of the 30 organizations, but we have 150 in the minor leagues, and you have, a couple of hundred in Dominican Republic, even in Nicaragua, that they escaped recently, and they are trying to get into the MLB, and some of them, many of them will make it, because those guys are good. So it's amazing, you have some of the best players that are not allowed to participate in the best tournament. After MLB, of course, and probably.
But the best international tournament for sure.
International tournament. The best. It's the best because MLB. It's supporting them, and the World Baseball and Softball Confederation, and they put the best players there. They authorize those players to go there, and we cannot. Cubans cannot make it, so it's sad. But Manuel, and I don't want to complain. I'm the kind of guy that I try to make it happen. I don't want to complain. Let's do it. Let's do it. We would talk. We are talking with authorities. MLB, Players Association. We would like to talk with Fracati. We would like to talk with him, but unfortunately, we cannot expect anything good from him. You have Manuel. You have the son of Fidel Castro as one of the executives of the World Baseball and Softball Confederation. That is a shame, my friend. Those guys are not good. He doesn't know anything about baseball. He doesn't have the experience. He doesn't know the players, and he's there. As an international ambassador of I don't know.
Yeah, a global ambassador, and he whether you like it or not, he's a political figure, and you shouldn't mix politics with sports. I just.
Right.
I don't agree with that. I really don't agree with that. What do you think, Bamm?
So the first thing I want to say, hey Mario, I hope everything's all right with you. Let me address you directly. So the major league talent pool, obviously, it's the best of the best, right? So since so many players from Cuba aren't allowed to come over here and play, what's the Cuban league like? Is the talent level? It has to be stacked. It has to be amazing to watch a Cuban baseball game, no?
Right. Yeah, the Cuban, because of the embargo and the political situation, there are no economic relationship between Cuba. They are, but some exceptional relationships. But in terms of sport, they tried. MLB tried to sign, and Cuban Federation, they tried to sign a contract, an agreement during the Obama
administration.
Personally, I don't agree with that approach. Because when you talk, I appreciate what Obama tried to do, and what every administration have tried to do in terms of solve the Cuban situation. But what happened is that when you have a Cuban federation that is not, it's very important, I repeat, it's not an independent, it's a governmental entity.
Yeah, let me explain something. Let me interrupt you, Mario, so that the people understand. Everything in Cuba is controlled by the government. The tourism industry, agricultural,
Baseball, sports,
and sports is controlled by the government, right, Mauro?
Right. So when you have the Cuban Federation, which is a branch of the government, discussing an agreement and trying to sign an agreement with a free organization, with an MLB, you know, an independent organization, a private company, very successful. I don't agree with that, my friend. I don't agree, because MLB was not trying to sign something with the Cuban people. They were trying to. I'm Obama. If you put this at a political level, you know, what he was trying to do is the Obama himself visited Cuba and went there with some business guys, you know, including MLB representative, to try to make business. I mean, the free society of the United States, represented by some of their leaders, but a free society, free people, trying to make business and agreements with the government, not with the Cuban people. So I will never support something like that. It's a shame, because if you are a Cuban player, you have not the same options like Dominican Republic players.
Right. That's what I was getting to.
Yeah. That's why
exactly
I tried to explain the
No, I appreciate I appreciate the thorough explanation, but absolutely, that's exactly the direction that I was going.
Exactly. So they have to go. You know, I don't know if you know the stories. I know that Manuel knows. I mean, those guys with the human traffic. I mean, the stories are really, you know,
horrific.
It's those guys suffer a lot because they are I mean, they are famous in Cuba because they are not free, but they play very well. And we have the in Cuba we have the national series, which is a pretty good tournament, very well organized by the government, and those guys are famous because if they are good and they play for the Cuban team, they are really famous in the Cuban society. But they don't have money. They are not free. They don't have resources. They don't have anything. So they have to get a ship or a raft or whatever they get, and go with Mexicans or with other guys, and they suffer a lot. And when they do that, and of course they prepare very well to get into the system because it's not easy to get there. I mean, they are talent players, but you know, you have to gain some weight. You have to adapt to the professional system. And when they get there and they become famous also in the United States and in the world because they play at the highest level. They are, I mean, the government, they have some retaliation. I mean, how do you say in English? Represalia, no? Retaliation, right?
Yeah, they
retaliate with their families, you know, with their relatives in Cuba. They are not allowed to go for 8 years to their country.
Yeah,
their relatives. It's crazy, my friend. So I appreciate, Manuel, this opportunity because we believe as Cubans that we all Cubans know this, but we need to talk and to explain this to the American people because we know that American people, they don't want to allow this to continue happening, you know. And we
not
need
just to the American
support.
people, but to the whole world.
Yeah, but of course. But American people is, they dominate the baseball, and I mean, MLB is here. You invented the baseball, you know, and we just copied and adopted as ours. But you invented the baseball, you know. So it's important you to understand what is happening. We don't want to mix this with politics, but unfortunately, we have to talk about those things because we didn't invent the problem. I mean, the problem is there, and we want to solve it, and we need American people to help us solve the problem.
Mario, let me ask you, what is your plan? What is it that you guys want to accomplish?
I mean, we have many. We created the association, and we want to do as many things as we can for the society, for the community. We want to to help the new guys that are coming, you know, that they are, as I said, talent people. They play very well, but they don't understand how is the professional system, because they come from Cuba. You know, you don't have professionalism there. So we need to help them, because we know that organizations, MLB organizations, hire some retired players to do that. So we want to do that here in South Florida, probably. We want to go to Europe. We want to go to Asia for exhibition games. We want to participate in some initiative, professional initiative. I don't know if you know, but there are some rumors about a winter league in Florida. We want to be part of that. You know, we want to make many things, but our most important now, our focus, our most important goal now is to participate in the World Baseball Classic. Not only because Cuban people deserve that, especially Cuban people that is living in Cuba. Something very important. We are 15 million population, but 4 living outside Cuba. You know, and we don't live outside Cuba because we want to live outside Cuba. We live outside because we don't want to. I mean, we want freedom. We don't, and there is no freedom. So there's a huge population in Cuba, but also outside Cuba. So, but especially those that live in Cuba, they don't have options. They don't have good food, internet. Good salaries, and they just have baseball because we love baseball. We believe they deserve this, but not only because of that, and also because we want to stop this from happening, my friend. We want to stop this. We cannot allow to be. I mean, we have to do what we have to do. Okay, they have to stop doing this. World Baseball and Softball Confederation is not the. I mean, I don't want to blame them, but they allowed this to happen. MLB also. MLB Players Association, they also allowed this to happen. We have to stop this. And why we didn't stop this? Because we didn't try. I mean, they tried in 2006, but players tried to do it. But unfortunately, players, they have to play. And what is happening now is part of our plan, our strategy, is that we put business people, lawyers, I mean, not only players, but also we put ex-MLB players. And we started, in fact, with them because they have the experience, they know the system, they know the players, the players that are, famous players that are playing now. They know them very well. They know how they think. And those guys now are in the season playing, and we are taking care of the bullets. You know, we stop the bullets for them, you know, and that's part of the strategy that we have.
So Mario, you said that the Cuban players, that they become very popular. The good Cuban players, they become very popular in Cuba, right?
Yeah, some of them, yes.
So what's their financial compensation for being baseball players? Do they live? I'm sure they're not rich, but do they live better lives than the regular Cuban people?
Let me talk.
What does a baseball player get? Well, how does he live? How does a normal baseball player in Cuba live?
Let me talk with my experience, my own experience. I'm a system engineer. I'm a software engineer. Okay, and I used to work in Cuba for 5 years after I graduated from university. I used to work in a very good company from the government, related with the tourism. They make a lot of money. My salary was $20 per month. I'm not kidding. That's it. $20.
But that's everybody,
Okay.
right?
Right. So I'm not saying are they rich, but I'm asking compared to those $20, what does a baseball player make?
$20.
$20?
Yeah.
For everyone. See what I'm saying?
Communism, brother.
No, I understand, but I didn't know if it was 25 or 35 or maybe 18 or it's just everybody, same level.
But suppose they make more money because, in fact, for example, to be part of the Cuban team, national team, if you are part of the national team, you are invited to the national team. And by the way, every year they put some national teams, not only one. I mean, they put the best team in the best competitions, but they send people to Netherlands, to many places.
Other countries,
Okay, like
absolutely.
yeah, other countries. Okay, some interesting tournaments that they participate. So at least 4 or 5 teams every year. If you go there, they give you. We can bring some of those players here, to the conversation another day. But they get like $80 per tournament. I mean, they go and they give them like a per diem of $80, $100 for a week or two.
That
For a
depends
week.
on the country that they go to and the cost of living in that country, so that they could, buy food and stuff like that.
Right, but
back home,
but I was asking was if a normal person makes $20, and I'm not saying that $20 is a lot of money. Obviously, it's not, no matter the circumstances. But a baseball player could go make 4 times that much. It's possible for him to make 4 times that much
if he travels.
if he travels. Right, that's the question.
$80. Those $80 they get when they go for a tournament of a week or two. Okay,
right.
Not they don't make that money every month.
Right,
okay,
I understand.
You understand? So they get a little bit more money. They are allowed to bring stuff when they go through Panama, for example. They stop there and they buy stuff for their family, for their relatives,
Right.
So they make a little bit more. But of course, and they are, in my opinion, there are several opinions, but in my opinion, they are professionals. I mean, because they do this for living. They are not well paid. They are not paid well, but they are professionals. I mean, many of them, most of them, they do this for living. Okay.
And that's their only occupation?
Maybe they have other occupation, but they don't. It's just like for the picture, It's not they do this for. This national series, which is our MLB in Cuba, it's you have to play every day for several months, and then before that you have to play the provincial. It's like a city tournament to qualify, and you have to play like 7 months.
It's year round. It's an occupation.
Yeah.
Mario, explain to Bamm a little bit about the schools over there, how they have specific schools for sports, specific schools for engineering, and from a very early age, right?
Yeah. For example, I wanted to play baseball. I'm a frustrated baseball player because we all like baseball, But my mother, she wants me to be, I don't know, a doctor or engineer, whatever, Because what happened is that if you get into a sports school, of course, it is more focused on sports and less on the academics. So it is like if you go to a sport school, you could be a good sport player. Any kind of sports, popular and all that, but you won't be an engineer. There are some exceptions, but or a doctor or whatever. So, but they get you from when you are 5, 6 years old, they send scouts. It is not like this anymore. It was like this when I was a kid, and it lasts several years. But now, with the economic situation, very bad economic situation of Cuba, that system is not working anymore like it used to work, and you see that in the results, because you don't see Cuba winning so many medals in Olympics like they used to win in the past. So but they went, scouts were to any kind of schools, and they pick the best, the tallest kids and the strongest kids. Right. They talk with the parents, and they review everything. They have a form They put there how tall is your grandmother, your grandfather, everything, everything. It's very sophisticated, the system. And they put you if the parents authorize, they put you in that school. You are
Monday through Friday, right? And you only go
Friday,
back home on the weekends.
On the weekends, yeah. And
Wow.
and for example, for a bench, yeah, very serious, very serious.
Serious.
And they have that at a city level. Up to, I believe, up to 12 years old, something like that. And then they have one official school in each, like a state, Cuban state. It's like a province, okay? And then it's like a filter, it's like a pyramid. And then if you when you are 16, 17, 18, you go to the national, and you start studying physical education, something like that. I don't know how to translate that. It's like you become, most of them, they become expert in sports. They study
sports medicine, physical therapy.
No. How do you say, Manuel? Profesor de educación física,
professor in physical education.
Physical education,
Yeah.
Most of them, they
teachers,
do
more or
this.
less, no?
PE teachers,
Yeah. PE teacher. Yeah.
So, Mario, let me ask you. So you wanted to be, well, you ended up being an engineer. That's your profession, right?
Yeah.
But you wanted to be a baseball player early on.
Like everybody in Cuba.
Right. So once you went to an engineering school, was that it? That was the end of your baseball dream? That's it?
Yes, because you cannot compete with them. I mean, those kids are the best of the best. I mean, they are professionals. They are professionals since they are kids. They are in a professional system. I mean, they don't make money, but they are trained like professionals.
Right. But you didn't get a chance to play baseball anymore as a kid, even?
I mean, it's difficult. I played, but not a formal game. Because when you see those kids playing, I mean, you are, I don't know, 10 years old, 12 years old, 14 years old, and you see those kids play, they are professionals. I mean, they play like,
you're studying engineering and they're studying baseball.
Yeah. And they are experts on that, and you don't have gloves, you don't have bats, you don't have balls, I mean, it's very expensive. You don't have that unless you are in that school.
Right.
Just for you to imagine, when you get a kid of 16 years old, for example, in Cuba, while is in Dominican Republic, signing those kids at the age of 16, which I don't like. By the way, I don't like that. I don't like that system. Okay, in Dominican Republic, in the academies there. But while that is happening in Dominican Republic, in Cuba, those kids are playing 100 games per season. Okay, so that's why you see Cubans arriving to MLB at the age of 20, 21, 22, 23, maybe more, but they are ready to compete because they have been competing at the highest level at the very beginning from they are kids. Right. It's a totally different. That's a system invented by the Soviet Union. I mean, by Russians and Germans in the socialist. I mean, in the Cold War. With the socialist and Cuba learned that from those guys. They were good. Making sports. And by the way, I like that system. I like the system because it's very focused and very very oriented to results. And if you like sports, you will love it, The problem is, in my opinion, is that is controlled by the government. And I don't like that. When the government gets in, I'm sorry, I don't know how do you think in politics, but I want to be free. And freedom is inversely proportional with the size of the government. I don't want the government to be so big, I prefer the United States system, that is based on competitions in high school, and then the system with the junior college with scholarships. I prefer that system. That you get the universities and junior college and all of that with different divisions. I prefer that. It's more massive, you know. It's more you can get into the system even if you are not in a sport. School. You can get into the system by playing for by studying in a university. You know, I prefer that system, in my opinion. You know.
Bueno, Mario. Man, thank you for coming on our show, man. We wish you all the best.
Thank you. Thank you.
We gotta have him on sometime soon again, man. He's got a lot of information, man.
Yeah, he's.
I feel like I'm far better informed now because I don't know anything about sports or life in Cuba. And I believe that you covered a lot of it, man. Thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you very, very much.
Thanks to you. When you call me, when you call me, I jump. You know, it's I'm very committed with all the guys to make you gringos. I say that, you know, very, you know, I love that word. You know, gringos is, for me, it's very nice word, very nice. I don't want to.
Well, I appreciate you coming on our platform and sharing your experience and your knowledge.
Yeah.
Thank you very, very much.
Thank you, sir.
Gracias, amigo.
Thank you. Bye-bye. See you. See you. Bye-bye. Thank you for the invitation. Bye-bye. Have a good.
Yo, that was dope, Fresh.
That was cool, right?
Manny Fresh, that's dope, man. That's super dope, man. That dude was better than you.
He was, right?
He was better than you, man. You know, you're my guy. I like you, but he was better than you, man. I can't front.
That's fine. No, so what's next? What are we doing?
What's on our docket right now?
What's on our docket?
Team affiliation.
Ah, there you go. Talk about that. That's yours. That's all you.
Well, you talking about the free USA team affiliation?
Oh, okay. So thank you to USA Slow Pitch. USA Slow Pitch is our.
That's the parent company.
No, it's our child, I guess. ISPS is the mom. USA is the national association organization down here. So they are going to be covering and waiving the team affiliation fees, the $40 that we used to charge here in the United States. That
pretty dope.
To be waived. So thank you, USA Slow Pitch, and I think Bamm has some words to say.
Yo, I got some stuff right now that's burning my biscuit a little bit, man. Got some things that's burning my biscuit. Our sport is having some issues with I'm not gonna say fighting. I don't want to use that word. It's a dirty word, but we're having issues with disagreements that end up becoming physical. I had a meeting today with the city of Homestead. As you know, I live in the Homestead city limits. I had a meeting today with the city of Homestead. I was in there about 2:00 and I stayed in there longer than I needed to because Manny needed me for other pressing things that I couldn't address, that I didn't have an opportunity to get to today. That's why we're here tonight. Manny will be working me tonight, like I'm MF4 or something. But anyway, we had an incident last week at Homestead. Listen, I understand everybody's passionate. I understand that the word fan comes from fanatic. But man, we gotta tone it down a little bit, man. I was there and I was live. And Manny always proofs everything that I have going on. And it's an embarrassment. It's an embarrassment. And now that I hold this position, and I'm grateful for it, I wouldn't have the position without everybody here. But now that I hold this position, I feel like the people that I'm closer to, that you guys put me in a horrible spot. You put me in a horrible position to where I got to do my job. I have to protect the players, and I also have to protect the sanctity of ISPS. That's my job. That's my position, and that's my job. So every time something leads to a fisticuffs, I got to fill out some damn paperwork, and I hate it. So last week, there was a bit of a dust up in Homestead, and I didn't think it was anything that was that crazy, me myself. So imagine how I felt when the city of Homestead told me that somebody was in the parking lot while the city employee was happened to be passing by, and they were brandishing a firearm, not pointing it at anybody, not loaded, but as Manny said, as he told me on our way up the elevator here, that's got nothing to do with nothing. I don't get it. I don't understand. So the city of Homestead wanted to have it where we have to have a police officer present at every single event 24/7. Got to tell you,
It's going to cost money.
it's going to cost money. Our budget, we have no room for that in our budget. We have no room for that amongst grown men. I can't be babysitting people. I can't continue to babysit people. Listen, on Wednesday nights is when we have our league at Homestead. It's a very advanced league. You score 30 runs at Homestead and still get run ruled in 5 innings. It's a very advanced league. It's very competitive. But that's not neither here nor there. In center field, there's a long patch of grass, probably about 100 feet, that leads up to, the 2 lanes of traffic. After the 2 lanes of traffic, there's a tree there with an opening in the parking lot. Man, after every Wednesday night, I go there on Thursday mornings, and I have to clean up behind you guys. I'm not asking, I'm not begging, I'm not telling you. I'm imploring you to please police up after yourselves. The damn garbage can is right there. You dudes take your beer cans and you take your rubbish and you throw it on the ground. The garbage can is completely empty and you throw it on the ground. Help me out a little bit, just a little bit. On Saturdays, there's tournaments there. Sunday mornings, I got to get my ass out there 6 o'clock in the morning before the city can see it. So now I'm damn near, Manny. I'm damn near, what's the word that my mom used to call my sister when she covered for me? An enabler. An enabler. Because I'm out there cleaning up behind you, hiding what you do. Listen, we have to share that facility with soccer. As you guys know, that facility, that venue used to have 4 fields. Now there's 2 fields. The 2 fields in the back belong to the soccer. The 2 fields in the forefront are for softball. Yo, man, we have to share that field because now we can't start our events till about 12:30 in the afternoon. When we start those events, the soccer is kind of filtering themselves out. Yo, whatever you do in your personal time, it's fine. But you can't go out there and smoke your weed with the kids walking right out. You're putting us in a very, very, very tough spot to the point where today I was threatened with us not being able to use the facility at all. Now, you guys got to be the students. My local directors out there have to be the teachers. And now me as the national director, I got to be the damn principal. I'm just asking for a little bit of responsibility. I'm asking for a little bit of wherewithal. I'm asking for a little bit of compassion to know that we all love this game. When COVID was going on and we couldn't play, don't act like softball is not a big deal to you because you was in your heart. You was hurting when we weren't able to play. I didn't like it either. This game's important. It's important to us. It's not life. Ball is not life, but it's important. So I'm asking you guys, I'm begging you guys, I'm imploring you guys, I'm pleading with you to please help me out. Help me out. Help me help you. Let me help you, and you help me in turn. Damn. Let's move on.
And Bamm, I bet you that happens almost in every park across the country.
I'm sure of it. I'm sure this is not an outlying event. I'm sure of it.
It's only going to hurt our sport in general.
Yeah. Listen, make no mistake, Manny. I'm not going to give other associations any burn here, but we know who the big brother is, right? And we're far less than the big brother, but we're far more than a backyard association. We got events in Honduras and Mexico and Italy and like we're everywhere. We are international. This is international softball, international sports, right? So I'm sure it happens in other places. But in those other places, if you get taken, Homestead is willing to fix the fields and dugouts to experience a little better. Give me 1 second. See, I'm going to address it. I'm glad you said that. But in these other associations, and you guys feel free to chime in and ask some questions here. I like that, man. Thanks for being interactive. In these other associations, they have the same issues we do. I hear about fights going on in other places. I hear about arguments and disagreements and all kinds of stuff going on in other places. And they police it up. And we're not saying that these are not going to happen because they do. They happen everywhere. But I'm begging you, for me, on behalf of ISPS, Manny Ferrero, myself, our local sports as an entity, please, let's behave ourselves. And we got to remember that parks are made for children. In every environment that we play, if your kids are not comfortable there, and y'all know how I am with kids, yo, I'm out there selling my gear, I'm selling my products, I'm out there selling ISPS hats and shirts and Bamm Athletics, and I got my hey, if you want some good supplements, go to BammAthletics.com. It's a shameless plug, man, shameless. But if you got your kids, you know I'm out there playing with your kids, and I'm giving your kids free drinks and free soda and free cookies and free popcorn and free chips. I absolutely love kids. Our kids are the best part of us before we all got all screwed up by this world. But if your kids are not comfortable in our environment, if it's weed being smoked and alcohol and beer cans all over the place and people are being drunks and then I'm not doing my job. Our park has to be comfortable for your children. So what I'm telling you is I don't give a damn about how you feel. I'm telling you it's about your children, right? Also, before I address what you said, CM, driving into Homestead. Man, we got those kids coming out of soccer. Everybody's kids are running around. I'm telling you, the park is for kids, and you're driving your cars within those gates. I'm going to lock those gates up from now on. The only access that you're going to have is going to be through the walk-in gate. Myself, my directors, the international director, the man of the world, the man of the hour, Manny the Commish, we're going to drive in when we drive in, and I'm going to lock all driving gates behind us. We also had an incident with somebody driving in front of the damn city people. Man, I swear the timing is horrible. These things always happen when people are coming out to spot check. But let's move on. I don't want to dwell on that too long. CM, yes, sir. The Homestead fields are getting a facelift, not just the dugouts, but the experience is about to be ginormous. The experience, it's going to be better than you can imagine. Where those softball fields are there at the far side, where the softball fields are located geographically at the far side, the far east side of the complex, that's going to be all soccer fields. Where those 4 baseball fields are, one of those fields belongs to Keys Gate. That's the best one, the one that they've been working on. That one more or less is going to stay like it is, except it's going to be a turf field. Those other 3 fields surrounding it, those are going to be 305 to 315 foot softball fields. They're going to be all turf, my friend. All turf. There is going to be an excellent running, biking exercise path there. There's going to be pickleball and tennis courts and basketball courts, and the foliage is going to be beautiful. And they're going to have jet skiing in that large lake. They're going to have parasailing in that large lake. Listen, I'm not taking my black ass in that damn water because I know what some animals in that water ain't got no shoulders. You hear me? But I'm telling you, if you feeling brave, you can. But the entire Homestead experience is about to become absolutely a banger. And that's right, ISPS will be the primary softball association in that venue because we've supported before COVID, through COVID. Homestead is my home turf. It is my home. I'm not from Homestead, but it is my home turf. And I do love those fields. When there's extra dirt out there and you see somebody wheelbarrowing and carrying buckets of clay, that's me and David Sweet. That's me and David Sweet. But the Homestead experience is about to blow your mind. Even the parking is going to be awesome. The way that they have it configured. Where the old stadium used to be at, there's going to be basketball courts, and there's going to be an actual amphitheater there. There's going to be strategically placed. They're going to look like bungalows, but obviously they're just little small shelters. Yeah, man. It's going to be really, really badass, man. I saw the plans for it today. Shout out to Alex and Eric for giving me a bit of a scolding, but then at the same time being willing to come to the table and understand that we're trying to do something far larger than just, a handful of teams every weekend. Like I said, let's move on. Man, tell me about Guatemala. We got a lot going on, man.
Well, we spoke to the lady. There you go, Miss Mariel. Mariel, you liked her, huh? She was nice.
She's cool people, man. She was awesome.
She's a great person. We are going to go visit her and her leagues this Sunday in Guatemala. She just hosted the Central American Championships, which congratulations to the country of Honduras. They won. and I'm excited. It'll be my first time in Guatemala, so
Awesome, man.
Yeah,
I got a question for you, off the cuff a bit.
Yeah.
I know you're a proud Cuban dude, man. Me and you have conversations. You're a proud Cuban dude, but you know you look like a white boy a little bit.
I know.
When you travel to these real Hispanic countries, how they treat you, bro? You like a delicacy over there? They think you're a cutie?
They do treat me different, but as soon as I start speaking Spanish, they ease up.
Right.
Ease up. Yeah.
But when you say different, what's different? Is it better or worse, or is it just different?
It's just different. It's just different. They're cautious. They're more cautious about. I don't know. It's just different.
Very interesting.
I do love waiting a bit and then speaking Spanish.
Right.
You know,
it's like when we go places and people talking trash about me in Spanish and I don't say anything. Until the end.
You know.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Pretty dope. What we got next, man?
New Religion.
A couple of weeks ago, New Religion won in Homestead. Shout out to those guys. Bryan, Justin, Aramis, Andro, CP, J-Lo, a whole bunch of dudes. I hate that I can't name all of you guys, but some good dudes, and they have been on a bit of a proverbial roll. I cannot wait for ISPS Worlds. I cannot wait. I'm probably going to have my 40s event on a complete different day, just so I can be a fan of the game and I can be a spectator and I can sit back and be on the field and take videos and pics and watch these young men do their thing, Manny. Listen, the game of softball going forward is so very talented. I cannot wait to see what ISPS Worlds 2022 looks like on our home field at the Broward Mecca of Mills Pond. I can't wait. I can't wait. Last year we were where were we last year? Winter Haven? Is that where we were? Yeah, we had a good turnout last year, but I imagine this year ISPS Worlds is going to be an absolute banger. And I can't wait to see these young men perform. Yeah, New Religion, congratulations to you guys for winning. That was a Tank event. Shout out to the homie Tank. Gonna have a pretty big announcement about Tank in the next 2 or 3 months. 2 or 3 months. He's doing big things for us. This is his first year being a director with ISPS. As you guys know, he is my business partner. He's the baby bro. His mom knows me. My mom knows him. Our families are intertwined. I absolutely love his 2 sons, his kids. He is a mentor to my son at times. Tank is an absolute great dude, and that was a Tank event. So congratulations to those guys. Do you have the picture of that I sent you of these other guys? Did you have it booted up? Who won in Homestead? So we don't have the picture up. So my apologies. I didn't give many enough notice, but I just do want to mention real quick that the Bad Boys won in Homestead last week. Another team full of young offensive juggernauts. Young men putting up 30 runs in 5 innings has become a regular thing around here. And again, I cannot wait for ISPS Worlds. I can't wait. It's going to be absolutely awesome. Let's move on.
Okay.
What you got going on at Euro, bro?
So here's the thing with the Euro. In Europe, after speaking to my friend Mark Stein, the balls that they use in Europe are the 52-300 core, basically ASA.
Right.
Our balls, the ISPS rocks, are 44-375.
The ISPS rock?
The ISPS rock.
Best thing smoking. You understand me?
Straight
up.
You're right, but they don't know that. They don't know that in Europe. So,
my apologies, Manny, for pouring my drink under the table. It's not alcoholic, but until people start getting on that sponsor list for ISPS, there won't be any free. There won't be any free plugs. I'm drinking out of a white cup. Sorry.
There you go. I love it. So we're going to be providing the bats because there's been some athletes out there that are scared, not scared, but they're concerned.
They're concerned
about, they pay a couple $100 for their bats, for their equipment. They don't want to damage their equipment with our hard balls. And we're going to be providing some bats out there. I don't know which ones yet, but we'll be providing the bats at the Euro Open. That's October. Yeah, the weekend
7
of
through
8
9.
in October in where is it? Oh yeah, Riccione, Italy. That's right. So we're going to Italy, man.
So dope.
October.
So dope. Listen, having tournaments in Orlando and Disney, all that's great, man. I ain't knocking no other associations. And I'm not even knocking what we do locally. But I want you guys to understand Italy, Africa, Guatemala, Honduras, Mexico. Yo. I mean, let me just hold off for a second. Do y'all realize that the ISPS Rock was actually in Africa this time last month, the month before that? Do you guys like? Do you understand how huge that is? The Blue Rock was in Africa. Manny was out there.
It's like a dream, man. It's like a dream come true.
So dope. So adapted softball in Argentina. What you doing out there?
Okay, look at this, man. I don't know if you can see that on your screen. This
I got it, boss man.
adaptive softball in Argentina. The guy right there with the green shirt all the way on the left-hand side, that's Gustavo Pastrana. That's our Argentinian national director. He did this initiative to
He's Argentina Bamm?
he's Argentina Bamm.
Damn.
He's got a little bit more
better than mine.
He's got a little bit more hair than you do, yeah.
Yeah.
But you know, he made this little program for
Special needs.
special need athletes, and these are some of the pictures from his little project out there. And I just thought it was an amazing project. Look at the guy right there with the tricycle.
Right.
So he can't really use his legs, so he uses his arms
As a pedal?
as a pedal, but up on top.
Wow.
I saw video of him playing. He hit the ball, and then he started
And then wheeled up top. Wow.
wheeling over to first base. It was impressive to say the least. But shout out to Gustavo over there in Argentina, man. That was a fantastic job, man.
Again, you guys, are you hearing me? Argentina, which brings me to Germany now. What you got going on in Germany, boss? Yo, man, you doing it so big, man.
Germany, we'll be in Frankfurt. I think at the end of May.
I don't
Yeah,
remember
at
the
the
date.
end of May.
Yeah, late May. Absolutely, it's late May.
And I want to give a shout out to Mark Stein. I had a virtual meeting. Everything is now virtual when you're so far apart, but we will have another in-person meeting when I go to Frankfurt. He lives in Vienna, Austria. He is a part of Softball Europe 360. I hope I'm getting that right. But he is going to be supporting ISPS. He supports slow-pitch softball across the continent of Europe. And I'm really excited about Germany. This is going to be my first time really in Germany outside of an airport. So really excited about that.
What's next? This is something I saw you post on social media the other day.
Yes.
What are the top 5 reasons? Of course, this is all opinion based. The top 5 reasons that you see to leave a softball team, man. What you got?
Okay. Well, first, the pictures that were selected for this article were in no means
no means derogatory or directed at any person specifically, for sure.
Exactly. So
it was just a random picture that you selected.
It was selected because we just, I guess, like the deuces that were.
I like the deuces.
Deuce piece. And it doesn't necessarily mean that they're getting rid of anybody. The article also says that players can also lead teams that are dysfunctional.
This was crazy.
You know? So I just wanted to mention that. We didn't mean to upset anybody or disrespect anyone. Just wanted to let that out there. I apologize. No, man. To tell you the truth, man, I really did not mean anything.
Yo, I thought it was. I'm sorry. I thought it was funny, just because it was truly, absolutely, genuinely innocent. It really was. It really was.
Okay, so top 5 signs. Let me give you the top 5 signs, and this is, like you say, totally opinion. Number one, there's consistent conflict between team members. Right?
Is this 1 through 5 or 5 through 1? Or is it random? What you got, your boss?
Random, I guess it's random.
Okay.
1 through 5. Number
Nothing
one,
has any more value than the other. They're all just 5 reasons, 5 top reasons.
top 5 reasons. Yeah. Number one, there is a consistent conflict between team members. That
Conflict already sucks, even if it's with the other team. But if you have a conflict with your own team, yeah, you ain't having no fun, bro. You ain't having no fun.
Number two, one or more team members is consistently underperforming. You know, somebody's not pulling their weight. Might be time to cut them loose ends, no?
Them same deuces that you just was talking about
Deuce
before.
again. There you go. Number three, the team dynamic has changed significantly. Sometimes, you know, you go through a honeymoon phase, and then all of a sudden things start changing and the dynamics start changing, and maybe it's time to move on. No? Deuces. Number four, the team's goals have changed. Maybe the team, this happens a lot. Sometimes the team wants to move up, silver, gold division. Maybe some players don't want to move up. Deuce. Peace. And number five, you're not having fun anymore.
Ooh,
That's a very big one.
bro, listen, when I'm playing, I want to have a good time with my boys. I want to make sure Manny comes out there. When Manny's out there, I want to talk my shit to Manny through the fence, like I'm running his life or something like that. Yo, if I ain't having fun, I don't want to do it. Manny, when you send me to travel, if I ain't having fun, I don't want to do it. Hey, by the way, if anybody's listening, Manny's gonna be busy, so he's got to send me to San Francisco when he can't go. I get to go to San Fran. Ooh, I'm gonna come back 10 pounds heavier. Hold on a second.
I believe it. There you go.
Maybe a future ISPS tournament can be held, and the winner gets a sponsored invitation to a tournament internationally. Thoughts? You see that? Me and Manny at the same time? I'm so with it. I'm so with it.
There's a team that won a free entry into the El Dorado tournament in Bogota. Maybe we should hold another contest, or maybe we'll figure that out. We could do something like that.
Out of my own pocket, I'll sponsor at least the entry. I'll shoot them a dozen of those banging ass Blue Rock monsters we got. Maybe we could find a host hotel, help out with some expenses. Manny, this is something we could wrap our heads around. CM, I think you want something, man. Next week, hit me up. Let's brainstorm about that. That's something that we could definitely do, especially. But hold on, first off, man, you sending me too.
Yeah.
You ain't just sending the team over, you sending me too.
Yeah,
you know how you like to go to these nice places, and then you send me to Georgia.
Hey, Georgia's nice.
Whatever, man. Did you get 3D5? Yeah, no fun. Absolutely
Yeah,
no fun. Next thing is Earth Month.
And I forgot to get the pictures, but April is Earth Month. We want to celebrate Earth Month. Dude, if we don't take care of this planet, we ain't going to be playing slow pitch for much longer. So let's take care of our planet. And one thing, an initiative that I'm starting, every new ISPS,
every time we go to the venue,
destination or whatnot, we did it in Honduras last October when we hosted our nationals last year. We planted a native tree at the park where we hosted the tournament. This is something that I'm gonna do in Guatemala on Sunday, and I think we want to start doing this in every new destination. Is plant a tree, watch it grow, watch slow pitch grow in that destination, in that country that we're in. And I think it's a very symbolical.
I like your style, man. I think you're going to be able to watch that tree grow along with ISPS. We're going to grow together. That's pretty dope. It's pretty dope.
That's exactly what it is.
Now, Manny, ask me what you gotta ask me.
Bamm, why should you travel the world to play slow pitch?
Ooh. Ooh. Man, oh man. So first off, the only time I traveled the world to play slow pitch was when I was in the military. I played a little bit in Okinawa. I'm an old man though. This was 90s. This was mid 90s. So the game was nowhere near as advanced, nor worldwide, nor had a game the notoriety, nor did it have the recreational value even as it does today, right? Who would have thought that a softball game would be going for $300, $400? A softball bat, excuse me, would be going for $300, $400. We was grabbing bats out of Walmart until that DeMarini Fat Boy came out, until that Work Supercell came out, until the Bomb Bat came out. And all this, of course, is prior to composites, right? This is all aluminum, C405. I right now travel so much with this game. First off, it's increased my personal network exponentially, which in turn, whenever you see me, I'm always representing the homegrown ISPS brand. The contacts, the friendships, the relationships that I've made are absolutely great. The travel, the experience, to see how they do it on the other side of the other side of the other side, right? I'm dying for Manny to allow me to put together a what was like almost like the globe something. You were calling the globe something. I can't remember.
The ambassadors or something like
The
that.
globe ambassadors, globe something. It was rival globe trotters, but it's not
Global
that
ambassadors or something.
right. But a team to travel, team of 20, 25 guys, because everybody's not going to be able to make every tournament, right? Of 20, 25 guys that are going to be able to travel these events with me and the commish himself. All of these places that we're talking about Italy, we're talking about Guatemala, we're talking about Puerto Rico, we're talking about Mexico, we're talking about Austria. Did you talk to somebody in Austria as well?
Austria, yes.
We're talking about Germany. We're talking about.
You're forgetting the most important one, which is Africa.
Absolutely, but you just imagine a team that we travel and we play in these events. I just came back. Well, Manny sent me to Cali a while ago. Then I went to Dallas. Then I went to Arizona. Then recently I was in Houston. And then I went to Panama City for the Spiders event. And I'm telling you, to see how people play, to meet people, to rub elbows with people, to, my fat ass, to go out to eat with these people, to see how they do things in other places, man, you got to add it to your softball resume, if you will.
Look at that beautiful scenery right there. Look at that landscape.
Backdrop is amazing.
Where do you think that is, man?
Don't give me the line, bro. Plus, I know you everywhere that you are. You go to these dope places. That's got to be somewhere international, especially with the way the infield is cut out. Where you at, bro? Where's that?
That's in San Pedro Sula, Honduras. That was last year in October in the national tournament.
Listen, and you know what I noticed, man? Internationally, you've broadened the spectrum of softball to the females, right? Yo, Manny, I see you having tournaments in other countries with 20, 40, 50 teams of straight women, and I can't give away a free bid or a free berth for women to play.
They don't have as many opportunities out there. So when you do give them the opportunity,
the participation is bananas.
They go crazy. It's the complete opposite over here. Over here, they have all the opportunities in the world. So if I can't play this,
next week.
I'll get it next week. Right. Over there, you can't do that. There is no next week. It's maybe this week, and then maybe in 3 or 4 months, 6 months later, we'll have another tournament. So you better get up with it. Now, here's the other thing. The talent level is not as good as it is over here, obviously. And it's more of a social thing. They like to do their makeup. They like to put their ribbons in their hair. They like to, put their
Mamacitos out there getting fresh.
Yes, yes, very, very.
So it's
all
an
about,
event. It's an extravaganza.
yeah, it's all about selfies and social media, and hey.
I'm going to identify as a woman for a weekend.
Oh, here we go. Listen, let's
Black
not
ass
get into that
Guatemala or
subject.
something like that, and some
Let's
tight
not
pants.
get into that subject. Maybe next podcast we'll talk about that and what you think about that. But
Don't be so emotional, man.
no.
I
No.
don't want to touch that at all. When that happens, I'm gonna go. When you start talking about it, I'm gonna go to the bathroom. I don't want to touch it. I have my own feelings about it, and I don't want to touch it. Listen, I want to touch on one of my travels a bit. I was in Houston last month. 3 weeks ago, I was in Houston. I was supposed to play in the draft tournament there, the Suncoast draft tournament there. It ended up getting canceled. Manny found me some higher education there, found me some courses that I could do, some things that I could do, seeing the city, looking at how their sports go. He sent me on a few assignments to check out some venues. And I got to tell you guys about the city of Houston. This world outside, it's very black and white. And black and white, even if you don't see color, you got to know that there's black and white out there, right? But I don't speak in those terms very often because, truth be told, I excuse my language, but I don't really give a shit. Like, I don't care how you feel about black or white or indifferent. I don't give a shit. I don't. It's the most ridiculous thing ever. But I got to tell you that me, myself, being a black man, I've never gone to a city where other black people went out of their way to make me feel as comfortable as people did in Houston. With me being a stranger to Texas. I've been in all parts of Texas, especially in Dallas. But I got to tell you that, Manny, I've never been in a place where I'm sitting and I'm eating. I got my laptop open. Me and you were talking. I got my tablet open. I got my phone in my hand. You got me doing certain things. And people are like, hey, why are you eating by yourself? Come eat with us. And I'm like, no, listen, no, thank you. I appreciate you. And they're like, if you don't come over there, come over to us, we're going to come eat with you. Man, that happened 4 times in 5 days. Wow. Man, I've never seen that before. And listen, I got invited to a barbecue. Me being from South Florida, I was feeling a little indifferent. I didn't know if they was plotting on me, if they was setting me up. And once I went and I got there, I realized that the people were being genuine. And then I felt horrible for thinking that somebody was trying to do something to me when they really were extending the biggest part of hospitality ever, and that's opening the doors to their homes. Man, it was absolutely great. So Brad Jenkins, Mary Watkins, James Jr., I just want to say, I'm sure you guys are going to tune into this because you follow things that I do. I just want to say publicly, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, and thank you again. And the brisket was bananas.
I remember now that you said that story. My grandmother always had nice things to say about the city of Houston, and that goes back to why should you travel to play slow pitch softball?
Yes, sir. That goes hand in hand with exactly what you're talking about.
It's so that you could experience things like that, so that you could experience other people, other cultures, other foods.
Listen, the minute that you find comfort in cultural diversity, you've grown. You've grown. It's another thing that you're always talking to me about. Is another thing that you're always telling me about being open, being susceptible, being creative with the travels that you send me on in order for me to stay advancing myself. It's pretty dope, man.
Okay, now we should wrap this up because
because if we don't, I'm gonna miss the barbecue that's by the house. They close soon.
We're almost at an hour and 20 minutes. But to end this podcast, I'm going to give you one of my favorite quotes on travel by Mark Twain. It says, "Travel is fatal to prejudice, bigotry, and narrow-mindedness, and many of our people need it sorely on these accounts. Broad, wholesome, charitable views of men and things cannot be acquired by vegetating in one little corner of the earth all one's lifetime." So travel, people. Travel.
Pretty dope. Pretty dope. That's about all the time we got for him tonight, Manny. Eyes tied, boss. Again, thank you all for participating. Thank you all for every bit of support that you give us. No joke, no BS. My phone line is always open. My email is always open. If you got anything that you need of me, please don't hesitate to contact me. Don't bother Manny with it because he ain't gonna do nothing but kick it back to me anyway. It's gonna be on my desk anyway. But I want to tell you guys, thank you, thank you, thank you. People can donate their money. People can donate anything they want to, food, resources. But when you give up your time, you're giving up something that you know that I can never give back to you. Thank you very much. On behalf of ISPS, playisps.com. On behalf of ISPS, Manny Ferrero, myself, Manny, why you ain't got national director next to my name up there? But you got the commissioner, Manny, up here.
I'll have it next podcast.
Y'all gotta watch this dude. This dude be doing crazy stuff sometimes.
I like Bamm Baracas. Special thanks to our special guest, Mr. Mario Fernandez.
Mario is excellent.
From the Association of Cuban Professional Baseball Players. Good luck with their mission. You have my full support.
I want to wish you the safest travels this weekend, bro. You're going international.
You too, if you travel. You travel?
No, I'm home this weekend. You're leaving me home this weekend. In 2 weeks, I'm going to Champaign, Illinois.
There you go. All right.
And then San Francisco.
All right. Peace.